And we're live. All right, guys. We're here with Rare. That's me, 1111. I'm so excited to have her here and for her to share all her information. We are going to talk about her twin journey today, guys. And we are going to do a Q&A after. So if anybody has any twin flame soul connection questions, this is definitely the time. And then I thought if there's, depending on the, how many people show up, I thought maybe we could do a couple of current energies for people, like if they ask, you know what I mean, if they need them. I've never done that with like two different people. If you don't want to, it's totally fine. I'll do it. You can do it. If you want to swap, I think that'd be cool as heck, right? But hey, there's Diana. Hi,
Hey,
Diana.
Diana.
We're not nervous at all. Share out, guys, if you can. Share out wherever you want to. We've shared out, of course, over on Instagram, on Facebook. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time, guys. So yes, I'm really excited. Look, we have Alicia in here. Hello, Alicia. All
Hello.
right, so Amber, what do you mean call you Amber? I just said that. What do you mean call you Amber or Rare? That's
Yeah, you
me.
can call me Amber.
All right, so Amber does the Confessions of Divine Feminine, and they are very motivational, inspirational posts that she puts over on Instagram. I love them, guys. I put her Instagram link and her YouTube handle. I'm so glad you made your handle in the description box, so make sure to check that out. All right, so we're just gonna jump right in. I feel like everybody really knows what we're doing today, what we're gonna talk about. We've definitely going through a very specific spiritual journey here at PLR. Today, I definitely got so many confirmations um, to keep going, right? And I'm just so blessed and grateful for those today. Especially, I know Diana and Amber is going to know because I just told them. But the Pisces lady, I'm so happy. It just really means that like they're out there, right? And they hear me and it doesn't have to be the old way, right? Like we can do this a different way, a new way, a better way. And I'm just so excited. All right. So, Amber, there's Rachel over on Facebook. Beautiful. All right. So, Amber, I'm going to give you the floor. Go with it. I want you to tell me who your twin is. What is a twin journey? What does that mean to you? And who is it?
um, well, the twin journey started unknowingly 15 years ago. I met my twin when I was 19.
Nice. So, that's
Yes.
kind of unusual, a little unusual. Some people
Yeah,
either meet them
and it
early,
was like,
young in life, or later. Never usually like a middle.
yeah, it was like it was right after I graduated high school. I moved out to a different county, like I was all new, and I ran into him. I'm at a gas station. A friend of mine's. It was his friend, and I was like, "Who's your friend?" um, and you know, not knowing until now, we had multiple that runner chaser stages and multiple separations. Um, this whole entire journey, I didn't find out till last year that I was a twin, and it was when I started awakening, and I had these crazy dreams. I started dreaming about twins, everything, and my counterpart was in it as well. And I'm like, this is weird. Why am I dreaming about him? And why am I dreaming about twins?
I'm so glad you
And
mentioned dreams. Do you
yeah,
feel like you got a lot of information through your dreams? Like, do you feel like you got a
yes,
lot of this is what's happening and why it's happening, right? That's
yeah,
good. That's
I
awesome.
definitely gotten a lot of information in my dreams. That's why your dream journal. I love your dream journal. I use them.
I'm so glad you said that. Get the dream journal, guys, for real.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
So,
get the dream journal.
so tell me, so you go through the runner chaser experience, then you learn later, right? What it's called.
Yeah.
They started putting the label. They came out with the twin flame label, you know what I mean? And it started getting slapped everywhere. So then you learn like that's what happened. So does that
Oh yeah, I
explain
didn't
to
even
you?
know about twin flames.
So did it explain to you like the definition? Did it explain like the in and out over and over and over? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, so I like I looked it up, and I just kept searching. I'm like, what's going on? Why am I dreaming about twins? And then twin flames had come up, and I had never heard of twin flames. And then, you know, at the same time, I was awakening. So when that started happening, I was like, oh my God, I just want someone to talk to. I just want someone to talk to. I don't know what's going on. I'm losing my mind. Like, and then spirit just randomly led me to you. You happened to be on my Facebook, like as an advertisement or something. I have no idea. And I was like, what? Let me click on this. And
That's
here I
awesome.
am.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Facebook has been super nice to me. YouTube's
Yeah.
starting to catch on. So I noticed on your YouTube too, guys. Again, I put the link in the description box on the YouTube video, guys. Make sure to click on there. It's hard, right? YouTube, like it's hard to grow on there, but your Instagram is
Yeah.
doing amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's awesome, right? Okay, so are you? So I feel like you're kind of saying like you went through this journey, you met this
Mhm.
person, and you didn't understand why all this was going on. Most of us, like we meet a person, right, and we have a relationship and it's like we're done. When you move on, you're done. I mean, sometimes I guess people go back to exes, but it's really kind of rare,
No,
right?
he's the only one, the
Right. There's
only
always
one.
just the one, right? I know, right?
Mhm.
So you feel like you went through all that, you finally learned what it is. Once you learn what it is and you're able to start like again putting people in their place, like which type of relationship and what type of purpose, do you feel like then that helped you? So the twin, of course, catapults the spiritual awakening, but do you feel like once learning what it was helped catapult like your purpose, like taking action and telling people, you know?
Yeah, because this last time that we met up again is what triggered it again. Um, I didn't notice last like, when I first met him, I did notice a lot more spiritual stuff had happened, you know, especially with the other side, but I kept ignoring it, and I just, you know, whatever. I never put 2 and 2 together that it was when I had first met him. So it was around that same time, and then
I
now
see.
again, yeah, when we got
I got
back,
you.
you know, meeting up again this time, it was weird because I was like just talking to God, like, I don't understand. Why can't I get over this one person? And then God spoke to me, and then it was just from there I started awakening.
Nice. When you so I know you said you met when you were younger, which really threw me off. I didn't expect that. So when you met when you were younger, do you feel like it were you in like an unhealthy situation, you know, I'm trying to say at that time?
Well, you know, we both had a lot of trauma in our lives, and even at that young of age, like we had already gone through a lot of things. And each time I see, like, it's been about like 4 reunions back and forth, right? Through this 15 years. And each time I feel like when we had separated, we did heal. We did catapult us into healing, right? When I look back on it, each time we grew apart.
Right.
You know, when we were separated, we really blossomed, and then we came back
Right.
together, and then we separated, then we came back
Right.
together. Yeah.
So does it sound familiar, guys? Like you gotta let me know in the comments if it sounds familiar. Because that's like the whole point is I want everyone to understand that like there's a lot of us. You know what I mean? But I like that you mentioned that you felt like it was just you and you were, you know what I mean, like you were just on your own, you couldn't talk to anybody about it. If you did try to talk to somebody about it, like you know, they look at you like you're crazy, right? So there's Clarissa. I love her, of course. So she says very familiar. Clarissa is over on Facebook. I talked about her the other day. She's actually, here's one thing you guys are going to notice. Everybody has purpose. If you're here, and I'm not saying this has anything to do with me, I'm just so blessed to be able to be on this journey with all of you guys. But it's like if we're here together, I've noticed everyone has something big. You know what I mean? Like everybody's doing something big. You know what I mean? I don't want to jump into like Clarissa's whole thing now 'cause we're doing your interview, but you have something big. You know what I mean? Like everyone has such a purpose. We experience the spiritual awakening, and then all of a sudden it's like we have to go do these things. And when we do them, it works out well, right? Like things kind of just fall into
I didn't
place.
even know what I was doing. I was journaling. The funny thing
Mhm.
is that my Instagram is literally my diary, everybody. That's what I refer to it in my family. I'm like, yeah, it's my diary. You want to know me? Go to my Instagram. Only because like I felt like I had nowhere to express what I was going through, and I was like, nobody's understands, and I just need to talk to someone. And I at this time, it didn't really blow up. Like I'm seeing now, like on Instagram, a lot more twin flames awaken. They have their like own pages and their own purpose going. I mean, they're shining, they're
Now
beautiful.
everybody, it's like now
Yeah.
everybody's
Well, when
one.
we started, there was like no one. And I was
Nobody.
like, what is going on with
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
Somebody tell me. And so that was the whole thing with the Instagram. Like I started journaling, lyrics that would come in that would jump out of a song that I really enjoyed. And then there was like, just my own thoughts that I would have. And so I started sharing them. It started out just, like word art. And then from word art, I started doing the daily energy oracles because I started, I taught myself the tarot. And then, I started doing astrology updates because, on this journey, you just go into everything. You're like, what's
yeah. All
happening?
the
So you want to
tools,
learn
all the
everything.
tools. Help me figure it out.
Yes.
Absolutely,
So I do the
absolutely.
energy updates. One thing I feel like with the twin flame journey, like I get like this vibe. I feel like my twin and I are very telepathic. Like I can really feel the energy back and forth. And so it kind of gives me like understanding of what's happening. At first, it took me a while when I started awakening to realize whose energy was whose.
Yeah.
Like I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden something would come over me out of nowhere, and I'd be like, "What? That's not me."
I'm so glad you said that. Clarissa is asking, what is a counterpart? She wants to know
Oh, I use
what is
that
a
word all
counterpart?
the time.
So it's
Yeah,
so
because
perfect, right? Like perfect time to
yeah,
explain what is a counterpart. All right, so
yeah.
you go first. What is a counterpart?
For me, I when I say a counterpart, I just feel as though like that's your other half. Now, for some people they feel like soulmates could be their, divine counterpart as well. So, it could be a soulmate, could be a twin flame. For me, it's a twin flame, but I find a lot of people who are in, soulmate journeys also, resonate with my material, because it is unconditional love.
It is. It is. It opens up to everybody. But I think that too, it could be like what causes the confusion between like who is who, right?
Right.
So I feel like it's important too that we know like who is who so that you know what you're doing with each person. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we're not supposed to live happily ever after in karmic relationships. We're just not.
No.
They're definitely just difficult lessons. I feel like we can all agree on that, right? Like everybody understands what a karmic situation is, a karmic lesson, whatever label feels comfortable, right? I'm so sick of all the labels. But yeah, like with twins, and soulmates, you definitely could have a counterpart in a soulmate. My honey, my soulmate counterpart is here right now. He just popped in. Um, so hi, honey. But yeah, so I have a twin counterpart. But here's the thing, guys. Here's where like I'm gonna stray. I'm gonna go against the grain. Um, so you know how everyone says we have masculine and feminine energies within us, right? Like we all have masculine and feminine energies. Um, here, are you guys ready? It's gonna blow your mind. um, so I don't feel like there's anything away from me or apart from me. I feel like it's all here and it's been here this whole time, right? Did I meet someone or something happened to me that catapulted my spiritual awakening? Yes, absolutely. And that of course has, some like it holds whatever because it happened and I was able to experience my spiritual awakening. But I don't believe it's like split souls or, you know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying, or anything like that. I struggle with that a lot. But here's what I do believe in, and here's what I'll say. Ready? Here's the part where your socks fall off. But I believe that you can have more than one like existence, you know what I'm saying, in this timeline. Your soul can be here like more than one time. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it just has to be just you. I know it's super weird.
What, like relived a
Dolores
timeline?
Cannon, guys, Dolores Cannon. That's where I've been for like the last, I would say, 6 months. And she did a lot of like past life like research and stuff. And so I've just kind of been dabbling because, I'm scared. But you know how, for example, here's just an example. You know how they say that the counterpart on the twin journey experiences the same childhood? Have you guys heard that before? That's like a pretty common
Yeah, I heard
thing. Hi,
similar
Tracy.
traumas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing is they're usually born around the same area, like in the same place, location. That's a really common thing. And I get all this stuff, guys. Like I get it from the of course the research I've done, but then I also get it from like all of you guys, right? Like all you guys come, you get readings and you tell me like, hey, I live here and this is my birthday and you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, look at this, 20 minutes apart. You know what I mean? Like it's just something that's really normal, really common. But it's like those common things we kind of experience. And so that kind of led me off on this whole different adventure again with Dolores Cannon. And I know she's like kind of controversial, you know what I'm saying, the information, but I'm just open. Like I'm open to soak in all the information and whatever I feel like spirit wants me to know, it'll come back. It'll just keep getting pushed in. You know what I'm saying? And if spirit says this isn't it, then I don't see it again. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how it seems to work. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like you can have more than one. I know like the word doppelganger is coming to me, but I know it's like a whole other thing. But just the concept alone, if you kind of like, you can kind of start to reach out with me and see that it may be like the whole soul. I don't feel like anybody's split in half or, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. But I do feel like you're going to find so many similarities in your experience with this person. Like they're going to have all the same, whatevers. And I think that's what makes like the catapult, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes everything happen because you're like, oh, I know this person because it's you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but yeah, so I feel like everyone has feminine and masculine energies.
Hmm.
Nobody's like split apart. Now, tell me this, Amber. Do you feel like you can tell when you're more like, I'm going to protect my stuff? I'm going to start working and providing for my things. And like your counterpart could be like more, let's say, um, well, normally it's emotions, right? Like the feminine energy is
Yeah, I feel
always
like we
related
traded
to
off a lot. We
yes,
trade off energies a lot, but
yes,
I've definitely probably been more in my feminine energy than he has.
right. I agree. I agree.
um, but I know that I've also was overly masculine before my journey, before my awakening. I was
Right.
definitely way over
It's like the
masculine.
armor is on, right? Like
Yes,
we're warriors
yes.
with swords and
Nobody was
battles.
coming
Yeah,
in,
we fight
exactly.
grown men, and yeah, I totally
And
understand.
then I was like on the grind. I was like all about, building my life and all of that. And I'm not worried, I'm not letting somebody come in and destroy, my life again because I've had that happen. Karmic. I didn't even know what a karmic was either until you.
We
I
can't
was
we
like,
can't
oh,
karmic
that's who that
bash
person
today.
was. Well, thank you.
Yeah, we totally can't karmic bash today. I feel like whenever I want to vent about karmic issues, I reach out to Amber. um, but I do feel like it's such a misconception with the karmics. Um, my karmic is healing. I know, right? Like, don't again, socks falling off.
Yeah, I've heard a
um,
couple people talk about their karmic
that's
ceiling.
shocking. That's I feel like it's kind of rare. Like we don't really
It
normally hear
is,
about
but
that too
two
much.
people
Yeah.
on my IG reached out and told me
Nice.
about theirs.
Nice. So how weird, right? We
Yeah.
normally don't hear about that, guys. Like
Uh-huh.
normally it's a lot of narcissistic type of tendencies. I don't even like using that word because I hate to break it to everybody. We all have narcissistic
Mhm.
tendencies, some way more than others. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that definitely seems to be like on the karmic type of energies. You know what I mean? And there's also a theory that we at one point are karmics to other people too. So I mean, you can't bash
I
one.
100% believe that.
You see what I'm saying? So we're kind of all just one. So when you're bashing one, you're really kind of bashing yourself. So it's kind of the same thing when you're talking about the counterpart, guys. Like when you're saying, well, this person sucks, or they did this, or they did that. And guess what? You did too. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of not, you're kind of talking back. So when we're doing like the astrology report, and I'm like, hey guys, the positive thoughts. And that's what I mean too. It's not just about like, telling yourself that you don't suck, but you got to say, everybody doesn't suck. Like everybody has purpose. There was a reason for everyone. You have to be grateful for everyone or we wouldn't be here, right? Like we wouldn't be doing
Right.
the things, right? So yeah, like I'm grateful for everyone. All right. So now I want you to tell me, um, I was gonna give you the whole like where do you see yourself in 5 years thing, but I don't want to do that. I want to do where do you see the collective? Where you see like our collective journey. So remember, you were just talking and you said that like we didn't talk about twins. We didn't mention it. There was different labels. I've heard some weird labels. And then the twin thing came and it kind of stuck, and then that kind of just ticks everybody off, right? And so yeah, I know. And then it's like, so now I'm trying with the whole soul connections. Like I'm trying to change the whole thing. But I
Yeah.
feel like there's other people that have tried to do it too. It's sticking. But it's like, so that was 5 years ago. This is now, where do you see the whole collective, everyone on this journey 5 years from now?
Oh, I am hoping to see them blow up.
I think so.
I'm so excited already just from what I have been seeing across the board, like on all platforms. Like people are awakening, people are healing, and people are out there like putting the truth out there and just spreading love and light. And I'm like, wow.
I
I
know,
hope
right?
in 5 years, like we are like this big old star just
I
beaming.
think so. I think so. That's what I told that lady in the comments. She commented on the Pisces and she said, "It's me." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, your light is beaming all the way at my house over here." You know what I'm saying? Like so yeah, I think it's super cool. We're definitely doing the things. All right, you want to open up to Q&A, see who's got some questions. I love that Carissa jumped
Sure.
out right away. She was like, "I want to know what this is." All
Yeah,
right,
I think
guys.
it's like trying not to make people, using a term that everybody could relate to, I feel like you said.
What's the term you like? What's the one that doesn't like, irk you?
Soul contracts.
Ooh, I like that. Soul
Yeah.
contracts. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I
Because
do
you
like
have them
that.
with everyone, I feel
It's
like.
so true. So
Yeah.
true. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. But then on the other hand, one could say, how does that separate the one
Right.
from the other? Yeah. It's
Well, is
hard.
one more important than the
I
other,
feel
really?
like, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's three, and you have to know what those three are. Because if you try to
Mhm.
soulmate your karmic, it's gonna be a rough go around.
I feel like people do though, because I know I did. I tried to soulmate my karmic, and I was like, I
We
was
all
at my
do.
low and didn't know I was at my low,
We
until
we all
now. And now
do.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
We
But I had to
all of
learn.
us do. All of us. All right. I want to see. Alicia says, "I spiritually awoke." Can you see the comments on your side or no? Doesn't show me.
No.
All right. So it says, "I spiritually awoke recently. I was leading too much in my masculine energy, leaning too much in my masculine energy, and abandoning my feminine and needing to work on this." Yeah, so that's definitely something common. We all did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like getting into the feminine energy was a little difficult if you've been sitting in your masculine energy up for a long time, right? And it's making yourself vulnerable, and it's also like doing self-care routines for yourself. Not as I feel like it's especially like if you're in a masculine energy, you're in that provider protector, you're like doing everything and everything for everybody else, and you always put yourself last. I know I did, and that's like I feel like that's kind of like a negative of being way overly masculine, right? You become stressed out, and you
Yes,
just want to make everybody okay, but it's
it's so
not your
true.
job.
It's so true. But let me tell you, like when you start filling your cup and you start telling people that it's not your job, I mean, clearly like people get pissed, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
boundaries. You gotta enforce the boundaries.
the boundaries,
Tracy
that's
says
one of my
people
biggest
pleaser.
lessons.
Yes, that's so. So I noticed one thing in studying all this stuff and like doing all this research. I did notice that the feminine energy, well, I guess both. It doesn't matter. Was struggling with like severe low self esteem, low confidence. All of them definitely people pleasers. The both
Yes.
masculine and the feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
yeah, but it does seem like that's what you break out of, right? Like when you break away the codependency, you definitely start to fill your cup, and then you start to, stop people pleasing. And Miss Tina told me I have to stop saying my bad or I'm sorry
Yeah, I
on the
used to say it
channel.
all the
I
time, and people
know,
be
I
like, "Why do you
know.
say sorry after everything?"
I don't
And I
know.
never knew why I did that, but
I
yeah, you're so
coughed
right.
I coughed the other day and somebody said something about it after. I was like, look, if I cough, I'm going to say I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. But I get that a lot. They're like, it's your channel. Do what you want to do. Like, well, I mean, I don't know. Tracy says it's habit. It is habit, Tracy. So
Yes.
true. So true. All right, guys. Let's talk astrology. It's too early to wrap it up. It's only 27:02. I don't want to wrap it up. Let's talk astrology. Tell me what you think about the Gemini new moon. I mean, full moon. So that's kind of really specific, right? The Gemini full moon.
Well.
I put you on the spot. She's like, that wasn't
Yeah,
on
you
the
put me on
list.
the spot. How do I feel about it? I feel good. I feel like things are good. Like I have had a very like steady energy feeling. Besides, like, what was that? 2 weeks ago when we had the full moon. When did we have the full moon? 2 weeks
New
ago.
moon. Yes.
I
Yeah.
know. I said, when did we have the
Full
full
moon.
moon? 2 weeks
Yes.
ago.
Yes. We're in the
Yeah,
middle.
that got me. The energy was a little off, but this
Are you
feels
are you a full
promising.
moon? Are you a full moon or a new moon person? You know how some people like one more than the
I
other?
like the full moon.
Okay. Okay.
I do like the full moon a lot, but I
Okay.
don't know why because it always brings me chaos.
I know, right? And so emotional. So emotional. So the
But the
Gemini
new
full
moon
moon, I feel
always
like
brings
is
me exciting energy.
this one. I feel like is super important though. I feel like this one, you know how we're always
Twin.
like releasing and whatnot. I feel like this one we're gonna get to like definitely learn a little bit, maybe take in a little information this time around. Normally that's new moon energy, so I think it's really interesting this particular full moon. All right. Tell us about. I got one. Look, I had to ask somebody. Give me a new question. I got one. Here's a good one. Thank you for the question. Tell me what you like where your services are, or because I noticed that you said coaching and twin flame mentor. So like if someone wanted to get a coaching service or a twin flame mentor, we all need twin flame mentors, right? There's Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Um, Tell me where can they find you? I know it's YouTube. I know it's Facebook. But I mean, I'm sorry, or YouTube and
Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram. But how do they reach out to you, and what do you do? Like, what is the coaching and mentorship like consist of?
Yeah.
Thank you
So
for
I
the
haven't,
question.
yeah, I haven't started like actual official services. I wanted to build like up some base of people following
Clientele,
me.
right, right.
Yes. So, recently I feel like I manifested it. I was like, yeah, I want to be successful at this. I want to be successful with my IG. And so after I actually the 888 portal, the 88 portal,
Right,
I
right.
used
The
that.
Lionsgate.
Yeah, Lionsgate. And I felt like after Lionsgate, right? All of a sudden my numbers like started jumping. I mean, I started out, guys, I had to get a whole new account. First of all, let's go back to I was journaling everything and then someone hacked my IG.
Ah,
I couldn't get my IG back. I kept stealing it back. They kept stealing it back. And then I was like, okay, God, fine. You want me to make a whole new one? I got it. Fine. So then I go to make a whole new one and I'm like, no, I'm gonna make this a place for people to resonate with this journey and somewhere to get out, all my emotions. And then it just evolved into, all the, other things that we talked about, the astrology and the energy updates. And then recently I had just started doing the videos, right?
so do you
And
do
started
energy
posting the
updates
videos.
on the videos?
So on the
Do
videos, they're like coaching videos. So they're based on different topics. So
right.
on those videos, I talk about different topics. One of them was recently boundaries, right? We talked about boundaries and setting your boundaries and like how, sometimes you might be tested on your boundaries and who you keep the boundaries with. And then a couple of other ones, we talked about the importance of karmics. We talked about when you hit tower moments and different kinds of tower moments. So each day I go on there and I do a daily advice video. And they're short. They're between like 3 to 7 minutes long.
That's
And
super motivational though.
yeah.
Super motivational and inspirational in such a short period of time.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
It takes me a
Yeah, so
long
I
time.
like to reflect on my day or something that somebody might bring up because when I had started awakening, and I had was at another school and then we had this new teacher. She was from a whole nother state. I never even met her. Come to find out she was a twin. She started awakening a couple months after me. And then now we're like great friends. And she's like, I don't know what I would have done without you. And so eventually, my journey has started showing me, okay, I wanted somebody so badly to help me, to talk to me, that's what I want to do. I want to be that person that's there for people who are
Yes.
like when they're first awakened and have 500 questions and they just want to pick up a phone and call someone.
Yes.
I
Yes.
wanted to be able to make that a service. So right now on my page, I started putting like out how I would like my personality, how I would respond to things for people's questions. A lot of my followers started messaging me and asking me questions. And so because I noticed on the comments and in the messages, everybody had about the same type of questions. I was like, okay, I'm going to
Isn't
start
that
making
weird?
videos for people to watch because so many people have the same question.
Yes.
And
Does it
so
freak
it
you
just
out that they're
became,
all the same? Does
yeah.
it freak you out
Um,
it's all the same? Like me in the Etsy shop, when I first started the readings, I would say like the first year, I knew they were all the same, but like there was such a big of all the same that I knew, you know what I'm saying? It took a minute to realize they're all the same. You know what I mean? Like everyone is experiencing the same journey. So
yes.
at first
No,
it really
seriously.
freaked me out. It doesn't freak me out anymore now. Like it definitely makes me more comfortable. Now I know like I'm talking to the right person, and you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, like at first it was weird. But it's funny because again, I'm on this side, right? So I get to see like, all the numbers and the comments and the messages, you know what I'm saying? Everybody leaves and they're all like, "Oh, thank you. How did you know?" I posted I made a little ad with the reviews today. Did you see it? I think I shared it on Facebook. And so it says on there, everybody's like, well, the readings reviews for their readings in the Etsy shop. And everybody's like, how'd you know? How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not magic, guys. I didn't you found me. You know what I mean? But
Spirit
yeah,
connected
so
us. I
yes,
swear.
yes. All right.
Yeah,
So
and
should
it
we
is
pull
crazy.
some cards? Tracy asked for a current energy. Let me scroll. Let me know, guys, if you guys want to do a quick current energy, we can before we let Amber go and wrap it up. Do you have cards by you, Amber? Do you read tarot? Tell them.
Yes, I do read tarot. I do. And I don't have cards next to me right this moment. They're over
I'll
there.
forgive you. So there's Tracy. All right, Tracy, really quick. So strong. Can you tell whose energy is who yet? Like, do you tell like Tracy is in her feminine energies, right? Like she's all this is about celebrating energies though. Can you feel people's energies yet?
Yeah, most of the people that I've been more in like contact with, right? So like a lot, like there's a couple people that if they like something of mine, I know who it is.
The
I know
energy
who it is. It's so
exchange.
weird.
Yes. The energy exchange. That's what it is.
Yes. I'll be like,
And
oh,
some
it's
people are
so and so.
scared.
I
Some
know
people are
that's who it
scared to
is.
do it. You ever notice that? Like some people are scared. Like you ever notice we get so many people come in, but like me and Diana and Sandra were talking about that earlier. Like, not very many comments. You know what I'm saying? Like people are so I understand it. I understand it. All right,
Yeah.
Tracy, you're going to be the one, and then I'm going to wrap it up really quickly. So, current energy, and remember, we talked about it. Everyone has feminine and masculine energy. I do sense a little bit. This is going to be the masculine energy, which is interesting because that's normally the feminine energy. But it's like someone feels like they're stuck, can't get out of something. But the feminine energy, look at this. You know why though? It's the 30th and Venus and Mars. You know what I mean? And then you have Knight of Cups, Tracy. So someone's going to bring you a message. You're currently thinking about talking to each other. How interesting. That's everybody. Everybody, right? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with Amber. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us. We're definitely going to have to do these again. This is only my second one. I'm super nervous all the time. We'll definitely share out more, and maybe we could do like a joint reading. You have to bring your cards with you.
Oh
I've only
yeah.
seen
Yes.
people do
Yes.
that before, but I think it would be so
Oh, that
cool.
would be
Aw, thank
fun.
you, Tracy. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Jenna. I wish you
Thank
could
you
see the
guys for
comments.
coming
It kind of
in.
stinks. Yeah, it kind of stinks you can't see them all. All right,
Oh, the
guys. Thanks for
comments.
coming
Yeah.
in and hanging out. I love you, Amber. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm
All right.
always,
Thank
always sending
you.
all of you abundant love and light. Bye, guys.